Superbrands is the world's most significant marketing award given to companies in 86 countries for building outstanding brand equity. A two-stage selection process involves scoring by thousands of consumers and an independent council of eminent personalities from various sectors. Over 135 companies in India use the Superbrand seal to display their superior status. Superbrands now join hands with ET Now to bring you behind-the-scenes stories of some of India's most powerful brands.
They have transformed numerous lives and India's image in the global arena. They have constantly innovated to set new benchmarks of business excellence. They have witnessed trial by fire and shown tremendous conviction. They are India's super brands. Hello and welcome to the Super Brands show only on ET Now. Through this series, we'll travel across India to discover and explore some of the most arduous yet exciting journeys that India's most respected brands have undertaken to reach to the top. On the show this week, the pioneer of direct selling in India, a company that popularized revolutionary products like the vacuum cleaner and the water purifier in Indian homes. And a 3-decade-old brand that combined romance with fashion to become a household name for trendy woolen wear in India. So let's get started right away. Our first story is of a pioneer of large-scale direct door-to-door selling. This company set up an army of salesmen that went out to each urban Indian home, explaining and demonstrating never-seen-before products like the vacuum cleaner and the water purifier. With a presence in over 1,500 towns and cities of India today and over 10 million satisfied customers, Eureka Forbes has written its success story with a simple formula of educating consumers about its innovative products. Here's how it became a super brand. Shopping mostly involves walking into a store, browsing through various products, and making a purchase. Even online shopping experiences are designed to cater to this very traditional consumer behavior. But in the 1980s, Eureka Forbes was ready to gamble with a less popular approach: direct door-to-door selling. No one had ever tried this on such a large scale, and the product it wanted to introduce in the Indian market was just as revolutionary. Vacuum cleaners were making their way in homes across Europe and America as early as the 1950s, and for good reason. These homes had carpeted floors and required hours of work to keep the house clean. The vacuum cleaner seemed like a natural fit and made cleaning seem less of a chore. India, however, was a different story. The age-old practice of chadu pocha had reigned supreme, and one could easily hire manual labor to do the cleaning. Introducing the vacuum cleaner in India seemed entirely pointless.
As a matter of fact, one of the renowned research agency, a market research agency, did a study on the potential market for vacuum cleaners. They said it's a no-go situation and this product will never ever succeed in India.
The evidence seemed to point in the opposite direction, but the chairman of Eureka Forbes was convinced that the time for the vacuum cleaner in India had finally arrived.
This will be a product for the future, and we would like India to change in terms of the cleanliness and hygiene. And that's how we got into it, and subsequently there was no looking back. We grew and grew and grew.
Eureka Forbes understood that people were not about to buy the product if it was just propped up on store shelves. Nobody had ever heard of the vacuum cleaner or seen it in action. Hence, a live product demonstration and educating customers on the benefits of this device seemed essential, and direct selling seemed to be the perfect solution.
One would take an appointment for late evening, one would take an appointment for a Sunday or a weekend and go and demonstrate to them why the product was needed. In those days, 3,500 rupees was a lot of money for somebody to pay. A broom was available at 3 rupees 50 paisa, right? Domestic help was available at maybe 200 rupees a month. And in a market like that, in a category like that, to create the need for a product, you had to do it in the sanctity of somebody's home. and demonstrate it to them, create the pressure.
To create that pressure, they needed someone who was well-groomed, trained in making a good pitch, and driven enough to make the sale. And thus, the Eurochamp was born.
What you need to give them is the skill. So when you marry your skill with the attitude, you get a Eurochamp. That's what we look for in a Eurochamp. We just look for that basic innate hunger to succeed.
In a matter of months, Eureka Forbes had managed to set up a small army of door-to-door salesmen. This team met with the sales head every morning, who would assign each of them respective territories. Charged up on masala chai and driven by the incentive of meeting their daily targets, the Eurochamps were on their way to kick off the biggest direct selling campaign ever undertaken by an Indian company.
We were not used to direct sales, and those days direct sales was more restricted to small household appliances and agarbattis and things like that. There was never a durable which was sold on a direct sales basis.
Imagine a stranger coming into your home to sell a contraption that you've never heard of, made by a brand that has no name in the market. The odds were stacked against Eureka Forbes in every way. But here, the man demonstrating the product was polite, well-trained, and knew how to hold the customer's attention. And even though the EuroClean vacuum cleaner was an entirely new concept, it had people mesmerized with its dirt-sucking power.
We try to play on the emotions of people, take out dust from places like sofa where you sit and watch your TV, take out dust from pillows, take out dust from mattresses, which presumably everybody feels it's clean and my house is well kept. So that demo, that sort of an impression, that sort of emotive approach did help.
The Eureka Forbes uncle came and showed us EuroClean.
The success of EuroClean laid to rest any doubts about the vacuum cleaner having a place in the Indian home.
EuroClean!
Even today we are thinking about that word success, because if you don't keep putting your next challenge forward, you're never gonna take it forward. So direct sales is about setting the next move, the next challenge.
The company now wanted to rise to the challenge of providing clean drinking water. At the time, people across the country were still using age-old practices like boiling. But even water boiled for over 20 minutes was bubbling with viruses and other impurities.
What looks like a pure, clear, safe glass of drinking water is not pure and clear and safe. It is filled with impurities that you cannot see or are naked to the eye.
Mamam?
Shanta, do you boil your drinking water?
No, we use AquaGuard.
Eureka Forbes was about to introduce a product that was going to take the nation by storm, the AquaGuard. The market for such a device was huge, and it was again the Eurochamps who were going to make it the company's most successful product ever. As essential as the AquaGuard has become for every Indian household today, there was a time when the company had come really close to pulling it out of the market.
Water was a challenge. There was a point when the business was about to shut down, and the board had directed the organization to shut the product down. Mr. Goklani, who's the managing director, asked for 1 year from the board and says, give me 1 year and I will turn this into a category that you will be proud of. The rest is history.
Safe drinking water was an undisputable necessity that put AquaGuard on the list of essential products for every household.
In the year 1992, we sold 10,000 water purifiers in a month. That was the time when we said, okay, we have cracked the problem, we are in the game, and now we have to grow.
Eureka Forbes products had also managed to get people thinking more about their health, hygiene, and the value of a clean environment. And it wasn't long before others too wanted to capitalize on this new market.
Typically, a direct sales organization need not advertise, because your best advertisement is your people on the field who go and visit customers. That was the period when actually one was the competition coming in. Second was also in terms of getting door entries was slowly becoming difficult.
There was only one way to get around that problem, by bringing the Eurochamp to the television screen.
AquaGuard eliminates harmful bacteria and viruses and ensures clear, safe drinking water instantly. Give your family a gift of health.
Eureka Forbes.
Come, come.
Kharabani.
As a consequence of these television commercials, the demand for the company's products shot up even further and consumers were starting to seek them out in stores.
E-boiling वाला एक्वागार्ड है।
इससे क्या होगा?
उससे पानी पूरा सुरक्षित होगा।
उससे क्या होगा?
सुरक्षित पानी से रोहन बनेगा strong and smart.
We've done the task of educating the consumer, and having educated that consumer, the consumer now feels the need to go out and buy a water purifier. And if you're not present in the retail channel, it would be a cardinal mistake.
The brand was also going beyond the Indian home and making its way to industry and the workplace.
Entering the industrial market was a challenge. As long as your production is running, you're able to meet your annual targets, you're fine. That's the typical philosophy those days. So it was a challenge to convince them the need for getting into cleaning in terms of water and this. The way we did primarily was showing them how much of productivity they lost in terms of absenteeism due to health, how much of people's attrition was there because of health and related reasons.
Eureka Forbes has over the years become one of the biggest direct sales success stories in the world. Today, with its family of over 8,000 Eurochamps, its reach and relationship with the Indian consumer is the envy of every competitor. The expansion of its product portfolio into fire safety equipment, air purifiers and security systems ties in neatly with the brand's philosophy and ideology.
They haven't run short of product ideas or launches by having that focus, but they have gained by having a much deeper insight into consumers, the terrain itself and the technologies by having this focus. And that always helps a brand.
There was a risk in every decision that the company undertook, be it products or the way it reached out to its consumers. Eureka Forbes chose to forego the tried and tested for the innovative and revolutionary. And that's how its customers have also come to identify the brand, all 10 million of them. And as Eureka Forbes continues to move forward with the same conviction, this number is only bound to grow. So that was Eureka Forbes promoting healthy, safe and pollution-free living. In fact, the company has harvested over 600 million litres of rainwater till date. So while you chew on that fact, we'll take a